We just got done talking a bit about the nucleus of an atom, where the protons and neutrons are. That's where all the mass is. We can figure out the mass of an isotope from figuring out how many protons and neutrons are in the nucleus of an atom. But that's not the only thing in the atom. There is the force field that surrounds the nucleus that's called the electron cloud. And this huge area contains the electrons. And from what we learned from Niels Bohr, electrons are stored in energy levels. Sometimes we think of them as orbits. Right? How do you know how many electrons are in the electron level? Well, in atoms, electrons are equal to protons. So if we look at our periodic table, and I find the atomic number, like let's say of carbon, and carbon has an atomic number of 6. That means it has 6 protons. Well, now it also means it has 6 electrons. Aluminum, atomic number 13, would have 13 protons and 13 electrons. All right. So now that we know how many electrons there are, how do we know where they go around the nucleus? Well, they are stored in see if I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Extend that out. And they are stored in shells or orbits, levels. And there are 7 shells. And you first fill the low energy shells, and once they start to fill, you can start filling the higher energy shells. So one has to be filled before 2, 2, then the 3, 3, then 4. Well, how many electrons can go in each shell? All right, so shell number 1 can store 2 electrons. Shell 2 can store 8. 3 can store 8. 4, 18. 5, 18. 6, 32. And shell 7 can also store 32 electrons. So if we picture these shells as orbits around the nucleus, the low energy shells are closest to the nucleus. So this would be like, for example, number 1. And then as you move away, they gain a little more and more energy to keep the electrons there. And that's where 4, and then 5, and then 6. All right, so we're going to use this information. Well, let's put that down there first. Electrons fill from low energy levels first to high. All right, so now that we know how many electrons belong in each energy level, let's do some examples, trying to figure out how that works when talking about specific atoms. So to do that, we're going to use what's called the Bohr, for Niels Bohr, atom model, sometimes known as the planetary model. And let's start with this example first. Let's say we have carbon 12. All right, we have carbon 12. And I want to draw the protons, neutrons, and electrons into this carbon atom. All right, so I have to figure out how many protons are there, how many neutrons, and how many electrons. Well, there's some things I need to remember. I need to remember that atomic number gives me the number of protons, and mass number is the number of protons plus neutrons, and electrons equal protons. So I need to keep these things straight for when doing this type of problem. All right, so I look on my periodic table, find carbon again, and carbon has an atomic number of 6. That means it has 6 protons. And if electrons are the same as protons, it also has 6 electrons. And now the mass, that's where the 12 comes in. The mass of this carbon is 12. We know that protons are 6. So what plus 6 is 12? It means neutrons are 6. They happen to all be 6 in this case. Next thing you need to do is draw a picture of this atom. I like to use, for protons, I like to use X's. For neutrons, I like to use circles. And electrons, I like to use triangles. You can use what symbols you want. All right, so I need to put 6 X's in my picture. And they're protons, so they go in the nucleus. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just jammed them all in the nucleus. I also need to put 6 circles in the nucleus for electrons. So that's for the neutrons. The neutrons, that's where the neutrons go. And next, I'm going to put the electron cloud. So, first energy level, draw a circle around the nucleus. And on that energy level, I can put, according to our notes, 2 electrons. So I'm going to put 2 triangles on that energy level. I still have 4 more to go, so I need another energy level. Energy level 2 could hold 8. It could also hold less than 8. And in this case, since I've already used 2, I have 4 more to go. It'll have 4. And now we're finished. We have 6 X's in the middle, 6 O's in the middle, and then 6 triangles around the nucleus in such a way that we have that we have our energy levels filled correctly. 2 in the first energy level, and then 4 in the next. All right, let's do one more. Let's do argon 40. I would like you to tell me, or to write down, how many protons, how many neutrons, and how many electrons there are in argon 40. Okay, so pause the video and run through this information up here to get the correct answers. All right, now that you're back, hopefully you found argon on the periodic table. You can see that argon has an atomic number of 18. So 18 protons, 18 electrons. Now we have this mass number again. Oh, there's the 40. That's what the mass is. So 40 equals 18 plus what? What plus 18 is 40? If Do 40 minus 18, you get 22. All right, so to draw this picture, I need 18 x's. There's 18 x's in the nucleus. I also need 22 circles, neutrons, in the nucleus. And then now I'm going to put my electrons in. First energy level holds 2. And I have 18 total, so I need another energy level. It could hold 8, and I will put 8 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I now have a total of 10. So I need another energy level. Energy level 3. Let's see, how many did it hold? According to our notes, energy level 3 could hold 8. I've used 10 already. I need to use 8 more, so that's perfect. And we'll fill it up. If I happen to have one more electron, then I would have to draw another energy level. All right, so that's the electron cloud, and then this is putting the whole atom together, protons, neutrons, and electrons.